Samsung's One UI 7 software version, built on Android 15, is now rolling out worldwide, so it's time to look forward to the next platform upgrade. With the introduction of its next foldables, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7, the firm is anticipated to bypass versioning this year and move directly to One UI 8. Given that these foldables and the new platform upgrade are still some months away, here is what we want to see with Android 16-based One UI 8 and what we currently know about the update. In our review, we lauded One UI 7 and were amazed at what Samsung had prepared for the upgrade. But it's not a flawless upgrade. Much of what we wish to see on One UI 8 is a continuation of our interactions with One UI 7. The main criticism of One UI 7 is that Samsung neglected it. Once renowned for super delayed TouchWiz upgrades, the business has excellently cleaned up its act with One UI, enabling rapid platform update rollouts and perfectly on-point security patches. Samsung actually sometimes outperformed Google in deploying the most recent security update, perhaps even before the security warning was published. Samsung, however, took its own sweet time with One UI 7. Although beta testing an update is a good habit and eventually good for users, it was obvious the firm was postponing the release to help its S25 series, given the lack of hardware improvements on the lineup otherwise. The wait beyond the device launch gives the S25 series a little more exclusivity for its AI capabilities, and even then, Samsung is saving certain features like Now Brief for the top dogs. For One UI 8, we want Samsung to clean up its behavior. We aim for a fast beta campaign, easy sailing, reliable deployment, and expanded availability of highlight features. Fans are dissatisfied with Samsung, so here is the company's opportunity to win them back. Now Brief is a highlight feature of the S25 series, and it is relatively similar in functionality to Pixel's at-a-glance feature. Now Brief delivers various fast updates, such as weather, calendar appointments, and news, and it even suggests Spotify songs. However, there's lots of space for Now Brief to improve. We'd love to see Now Brief support additional third-party applications, including TickTick and other task apps. We'd also love to see YouTube Music and perhaps Apple Music support, if feasible, since Now Brief presently supports Spotify alone. Further, Now Brief is now confined to the Galaxy S25 series only. However, there isn't enough justification for the functionality not to reach previous Samsung flagships. There are signs that Samsung may be increasing access, but we want to see the functionality reach many more phones beyond the older flagships. Android and One UI's notification management is considerably better than iOS's, but it doesn't mean we can't optionally embrace some more management tools. Even while iPhone's notification summaries have been criticized for getting material drastically incorrect due to the minimal context supplied to AI, they're still a really handy tool for those of us who get a lot of alerts every day. With One UI 8, we desire to see Samsung adopt an AI-based notification summary system. This might cleanly summarize notifications and explicitly state when it is doing so to reduce misunderstanding, so that users may rapidly browse through a greater volume of alerts. Notifications that call into the user's urgency may be suitably emphasized, like iOS does with priority notifications. Yes, Apple accomplished it first, but Samsung has the potential to show the world that it can do it better. Samsung launched a battery health feature on their smartphones with One UI 7. However, only few smartphones like the Galaxy S25 series, Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6, and the Tab S10 series have it. Other smartphones, like the Galaxy S24 series, don't perceive this quite beneficial function. We'd love for information related to battery health become freely accessible for as many devices as feasible within the hardware limits. Gemini is a key feature of the Android flagship experience. While you can utilize Gemini on Samsung's Z Flip foldables, you must flip open the smartphone to do so on One UI 7. With One UI 8, we'd love to see Samsung introduce the option to utilize the Gemini AI assistant on the cover screen of flip foldables. After all, the objective of the cover screen on flip phones is to offer you less excuses to open the device. Another One UI 7 issue is that you are forced to using Samsung keyboard on the cover display of flip foldables. While this keyboard is nicely tuned, we'd also welcome the opportunity to use alternative keyboards like board on the cover display, particularly if we have configured it thus for the main display. The ideal method would be to enable users to establish two keyboards, one for the cover display and one for the main. We expect to see One UI 8 bring this to fulfillment. Samsung's secure folder function is quite extensively utilized by many users to keep their data and programs concealed from anyone who may happen across their phone. The functionality generates a second work profile with its own storage space and screen lock, keeping important applications and information hidden. However, Secure Folder has a few limitations when someone has physical access to your Galaxy phone. One issue enables users to view Secure Folder objects from a work app. Another bug in the Gallery app inside Secure Folder might reveal your stuff via Stories notifications. Samsung hasn't solved these vulnerabilities yet, but with One UI 8, we hope they no longer exist. Now the big question: when will the One UI 8 be released? Now check this out. Samsung normally waits a complete version boost for One UI for its Android platform release. For example, One UI 5 was published in October 2022 with the Android 13 platform upgrade, and One UI 6 was released in October 2023 with Android 14 in tow. When the Galaxy S series flagships were ultimately unveiled, One UI got an X-own version boost. One UI 5.1 was launched in February 2023 with the Galaxy S25 series, while One UI 6.1 was released in January 2024 with the Galaxy S24 series. Similarly, the arrival of Samsung's foldables in the middle of the year brings an X-own.1 version boost. The One UI 5.1.1 debuted in August 2023 with the Z Fold 5 and Flip 5, while One UI 6.1.1 arrived in July 2024 with the Z Fold 6 and Flip 6. With One UI 7, all of this history goes for a trash. Even though Google released Android 15 in October 2024, Samsung elected to wait the stable rollout for its older flagships until its newest Galaxy S25 series phone arrived in January 2025. The upgrade continued to be further delayed for older flagships, and worldwide steady deployment started only in late April 2025. That's half a year of wait for the platform upgrade to reach more Samsung phones. Samsung has already violated its own convention here, and the firm is reported to be exploring even farther with One UI 8. According to leaker Ice Universe, Samsung wants to deliver One UI 8 based on Android 16 considerably sooner than originally planned. This was predicted in some respects, as Google is also planned to release Android 16 early in Q2 2025, most likely around Google I/O in May. Ice Universe followed up on their leak by indicating that the company's next version release, following One UI 7.0, is One UI 8.0, skipping past One UI 7.1 and One UI 7.1.1 releases. Samsung has also been discovered testing the One UI 8 version based on Android 16, so there's reason to assume this is occurring. With One UI 7.1 and 7.11 not projected to materialize, when is stable One UI 8 coming? The Z Fold 7 and the Z Flip 7 are likely to run One UI 8 based on Android 16 straight out of the box. But when are those flagships coming? A source from South Korea's Korea Jongang Daily says that Samsung will conduct an unpacked event in New York for the new foldables, most likely in the first week of July 2025. Samsung waited to introduce its new OS, One UI 7, with its current flagship, S25, and we anticipate the same with the One UI 8 with the next generation of Galaxy foldable flagships. To wrap it up, we're anticipating Samsung to debut the One UI 8 based on Android 16 in the first week of July 2025, with the introduction of the Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7. The second question is whether there will be a One UI 8 beta. Samsung operates beta programs for its upgrades, trying them out on previous flagships before issuing the stable version first on new flagships. The business conducted a very thorough beta program for the One UI 7, so it's safe to think it will similarly operate a test program for One UI 8. Internal test builds have already been identified, so it's only a question of graduating them to closed and open betas until they reach the stable release track. However, Samsung hasn't officially confirmed that it would really launch a One UI 8 beta test. A tip from Samobile indicates that Samsung might possibly forego a beta program for One UI 8. We anticipate the firm will give additional details after Android 16 ships in the stable branch, which might happen close to Google I/O in May. Even before One UI 7 could continue its worldwide distribution to older flagships, an internal test version of One UI 8 had already leaked, giving us a good glimpse at what's ahead. However, there's disappointment coming, as One UI 8 isn't likely to be a huge improvement over One UI 7, despite how large of a difference One UI 7 was over One UI 6. The highlight virtually few changes over the previous release. In certain cases, Samsung is only turning on the functionality in One UI 8, the code for which previously existed, in a dormant way on One UI 7. The internal test version of the One UI 8 reveals that the key feature enhancement here would be the deployment of Galaxy S25's now brief feature from the One UI 7 to other devices, including previous flagships. The leaked versions featured colored icons in the quick settings panel, though this might be a glitch, and ringed icons for several menu items inside the gallery and file manager applications. The One UI 8 is reportedly supposed to bring log video recording capability to the camera app. This isn't a new feature per se, because it debuted with the One UI 7 on the Galaxy S25 series, and even hit the Galaxy S24 series with its One UI 7 upgrade. New updates include adjustments to Quick Share, with its menu now having two sections, Receive and Send. Switching to the Receive page automatically makes your device briefly visible to other devices and stops when you leave it. This is supposed to be better than toggling visibility settings on a timer. Note that the same modifications to Quick Share have also been detected for the Android-wide Quick Share from Google. The significant cosmetic update that would be new for all users might be the revised Samsung Weather app. According to information supplied by ex-user Joewyn Van Giesen, the revamped the One UI 8 Weather app might have full-screen animated animations that clearly portray real-time weather conditions. These animations may not merely be beautiful, they might contain people and things interacting with the surroundings. For example, during wet weather, the Weather app on the One UI 8 might display little animated individuals strolling beneath umbrellas. On bright days, beams of sunshine might pierce through moving clouds, producing a more brilliant and accurate portrayal of the current weather. Similar effects are claimed to follow other meteorological situations, such as snow or wind. While this redesigned Weather app will be part of the One UI 8, you don't have to wait for the deployment to use it. The new software is now available for download, and the APK may be loaded on any compatible device. Hence, so far, One UI 8 looks to be nothing more than One UI 7.1 or 7.1.1, depending on what features Samsung ultimately chooses to add to its device line. So that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video. Goodbye.